Hey guys, and we're back again. If you haven't noticed already, I'm kind of preparing to... I need to sneeze. Motherfucker. Hey guys, and we're back again. In case you haven't noticed already, I am preparing to try and set some PRs in the near future. Hence why I've been doing some reverse band work over the past week or two. Well, I started it last week. I did reverse band bench, and then this week I'm going to be doing reverse band squats, and then finishing off with next week's workout being reverse band deadlifts. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to be testing my maxes in the upcoming weeks, but I figured by doing the reverse band stuff I will be able to slightly overload my body and nervous system so it gets used to holding slightly heavy weights, or heavier than I can actually handle, so it doesn't shock my body when I actually come around to doing some kind of PR. Well, I say PR, hopefully doing some kind of PR. But as I said, I have no idea where my maxes will be, because since starting this program I've lost around 30 pounds or so. So if I just manage to maintain my strength and lose like 2.5 stone nearly or something, I'd be more than happy maintaining my strength. Anyway, as I already said, this week I'm going to be doing reverse band squats with a pause close grip bench press on my upper day. I've never really done a pause variation of the close grip before, so it'll be interesting to see where that is standing. My pause competition, last time I tested this, was 117.5 kilos. So hopefully I can get around for some reason, like my close grip and my actual competition grip are completely different grips, obviously, but the actual strength is roughly the same. Excuse me. I always found that really weird, but I'm assuming it's because like when I first started to bench that I learned to bench with a very close grip, mostly because of the equipment I had. It was very hard to unrack if you actually had a competition style grip, which was quite wide, like this. So I learned with a closer grip because it was easier to unrack, because I had that better range of motion, which is rather strange, hence why I've got huge triceps and hardly any chest. I need to fix that. Anyway, moving on to this week, we're doing squats. So let's get started, and hopefully it all goes well. Enjoy, guys. Oh, before you go, just to let you know, my computer / editing software system thing is being borrowed / taken away from me for a while. So I'll try and get content up as like frequently as possible, but don't complain if it is slightly delayed. Anyway, let's start the week, and I'll see you all soon. Enjoy. And here we are on Max Effort Monday. No fancy warm-ups this week. Well, I did do fancy warm-ups, I just pretty much didn't end up filming them for some reason. I spent half my time trying to figure out how to do reverse band squats as opposed to actually filming my warm-up. So if you've seen my reverse band bench last week, you will realise that I didn't really set them up very well because they were taking far too much weight off of my lift at the top. So with these ones, I'm using the purple bands, which obviously take off more weight, but the way I set them up this week, as you can see, they aren't really doing all that much at the top. So they help me out of the hole at the bottom, but when I get about halfway up, pretty much all the slack goes out of them. Well, all the tension, not the slack, all the tension goes out of the bands, which basically helps me squat the full weight. Anyway, I'm already at 100 kilos here, which is usually the majority of my squat, or at least 2/3 of it. I was enjoying doing the reverse band squats. I thought they wouldn't go as well as I'd hoped, mostly because we don't really have proper power racks in this gym, and I thought they might start pitching me forward because the bands are like at an angle as opposed to straight up and down, but they seem to work fine. so it's something that I will be trying to work into my program more regularly at some point. Or at least, as I said before, just before trying to hit a new PR, it might be a good idea just to overload my system. Anyway, 3 plates here now. Well, actually, we're at 150 kilos, which this is pretty much where my max might be. I'm not sure, but I had a slight issue with this one. I may have slightly nearly killed myself by not putting the clip on the bar, and all the plates nearly fell off after I unracked them. So yeah. Remember, don't kill yourself, kids. This time, yeah, not killing myself this time. I'm quite happy with my form on this day, although my knees are still doing the cave-in thing, which is still showing my glute weakness. One thing with my squats, or just, well yeah, my squats in general, is you can always tell when it's starting to get heavy, because it basically turns into a really heavy good morning. But anyway, here's my max for the day, which turns out to be 165 kilos, which is way more than I can free weight squat. But yeah, watch it guys and enjoy. Remember, it's a good morning, not a squat. As you can see, it moved relatively well, but my upper back was starting to round, which is basically, yeah, I don't really want to be going above where my form starts to break down a load. So I called it there and then moved on to my volume work, which was 100 and, I don't can't even see what it is, 137 or so for 5 sets of, well, it was 3 sets of 5 for this week. I actually managed to get the 3 sets of 5, not 5 sets of 3. Afterwards, basically unloaded the bar and then moved on to my other accessories for the day, which were mostly just bodybuilding stuff. I skipped the deadlifts on this day, mostly because 1, I was short on time, and 2, I was going to do some rack pulls the day after. So skipped doing some deadlifts and basically just did bodybuilding stuff with leg extensions, leg curls, and then called it a day. And now it's max effort upper. And as I said before, because I've already done the reverse band stuff, I'm not doing reverse band stuff on this day. I just decided to do a close grip bench with a pause instead. So as always, just warmed up with just the bar. I just think it's a good idea just to start with the bar. I see so many people start with 60 kilos or a plate each side, which if you are strong enough to do that, I suppose it kind of fine, but I still don't think it's a great idea. You should always start with the bar just to basically practice the movement and feel if you have any aches or if something is a bit wrong on that day. I just like warming up that way. I think it's the best way to warm up anyway. I just don't see why people start with lots of weight. Anyway, here we are at 90 kilos already, which is moving relatively well with a pause. Don't even need a spotter at this point. 100 kilos now. That was a pretty hefty jump already. As I said, I've never really done this before, but last time I did touch and go with close grip, I think I got 117 kilos. I've also been using a little bit of chalk lately with my bench. No particular reason, I just find that mentally I feel like I can grip the bar better. Probably isn't actually helping me at all really, but with a bit of chalk, mentally it helps me to hold the bar tighter and flex all my muscles. And there we are at, was that 110? Slight sticking point halfway up, but moves fine. Here's my max for the day though, which is a, oh, is that a max? No, it's not my max yet. It's 115 kilos I go up after this. But yeah, surprisingly still moving relatively well. And my hips are staying down, which they don't stay down for this next set. Yeah, so here it is, 117.5 kilos for close grip pause. My feet are staying relatively like glued to the floor, but watch the hips shoot up as I start to press. That's one issue I've been having, well, for a while now, which I really need to fix. And no matter how wide I put my feet, it always seems to happen, so I need to probably mentally thinking about it more as opposed to trying to change my form to improve it. But anyway, here's max for day. Enjoy. And yet again hit that random sticking point, which is 2/3 of the way up. Afterwards though, I nearly died, felt like death and looked like death, hence why I just collapsed off the bench and Simon decided to poke me. Thanks, dear. Anyway, afterwards moved on to my volume for the day, which is 95 kilos for 3 sets of 5, which, as I've stated before, moved perfectly fine. As I've been doing for the rest of my training, I've been pausing the very last rep of each set, as you can see there. With bench, as I've said before, I've always seemed to be able to hit the 3x5, isn't it? I've always been able to hit the 3x5 as opposed to with like deadlifts and squats where I have to take more sets and more rest to actually be able to get that volume. Anyway, did a ton of chest accessories after this. Incline dumbbell press. I did some floor press with hardly any weight but a ton of reps, and then finished my day off with lateral raises and tricep pushdowns, which I did not film for some reason. Sorry about that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the episode. I'll be back at some point, and yeah, remember to like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers guys.